Hello, friends. It's Dallas, but you can call me Dals, and welcome to another episode of Dals Chats, the podcast where I talk about whatever I want to whoever will listen. And thank you so much for listening today. What's up, you guys? How you doing? How you feeling? Are we all feeling good? Okay, I'm glad. Um, I'm good. If anyone was wondering, I am a little tired. I am a little. I don't know. I'm just tired. I'm going through it a little bit. Um, but I'm here and I'm present, and I can't wait to do this video for you guys. Right off the bat, nail cam. Guys, aren't these so cute? They're little flowers. Like what are they? Little daisies with the black. Oh wow. And I am holding I don't know. This was I don't know. This was from a blind box from Disneyland. It was like a pastry Disney characters thing. I think this might be like what was that? Like a Daisy Duck situation, I think. And it's a little like cupcake. This was one of the rare ones. This was, I think, because in blind box it has like all the characters on it, and then like one is like a rare one, like a mystery one that you don't know what it is. This was that. Yeah, I unboxed it. This is from my trip in 2024, so a couple years ago when I went to Disney, my first time ever going. I got this little thing. I think she's so cute, and that's what's holding my mic for me to talk to you guys today. Before we get into the meat and potatoes of this episode, because I do have, for once in a while, a planned episode, I wanted to talk about like current events. Maybe you guys were wondering where I am with some takes. And what I want to talk about is Mr. Harry Styles. Of course, you guys know me. I'm going to talk about Harry Styles any chance that I get, right? He is on tour. His tour kicked off over the weekend, I believe. Saturday, maybe this past Saturday. Um, in Amsterdam. I have been getting these videos nonstop on my For You page, bitch. Oh my god. I've been freaking out. I've been like, there's some videos where like he did the whale night 2. If you guys don't know what the whale is, it's where he gets water in his mouth and he just spits it into the air. And he did the whale and it was very sexy. There's a video of it. It was very, very sexy. He sang Fine Line, which every time I hear it live, because like the studio version is obviously very beautiful in and of itself, but when he sings it live, it's like a very different it's very different, and it invokes such a raw emotional reaction out of me that every time I see it live I sob, like full body sob. I just cry and I can't control it. And I saw him perform Fine Line and I cried. Surprised to anyone, surprised to no one, surprised. I fully sobbed. And he did Matilda to strings, over strings. He did that. That was very emotional. He did Matilda. He did Satellite, or it was Carla's song transitioned into Satellite, which was beautiful. I am so jealous of anybody who gets to go to his show because I'm not going, as you guys sorry recall. I'm broke. I'm very poor, and I cannot afford tickets to go see him. So anybody who is going to see him, I'm very jealous of you, and I hope it's everything that you wish for, and then more. I don't care that you're going. Actually, sounds better. Sounds better on Spotify anyway. How about that? But yeah, I love when he goes on tour. It's gonna take over my whole life. It's gonna consume me up until he freaking leaves tour and goes back home. And does marathons and rides his bike again. It's gonna take over my life. Just when I thought my frontal lobe was developing and I was kind of getting over it because he got engaged, he brought me right back in. He brought me right back in because of this tour. So yeah, I'm sorry about the person I'm gonna become. I'm sure this is not the last time you guys are gonna hear about him on this here channel. I'm sure there's gonna be more moments that I'm gonna be talking about, but I just wanted to let you guys know. Yes, I know he's on tour. Yes, he just had the second night a few days ago, and I'm very excited to see what's coming. I heard people were upset. People were upset by the set list, and not like the songs that were on it, but like for how short it was. And I'm like, the set list, I think it was consists of 20 songs. I don't know how long the concert is, but I feel like that's not crazy. Am I insane? Is that a crazy take? I don't think that's something to be like upset about. There are some songs that I'm surprised that aren't on the set list, like Kiwi's not on the set list, which I think's a little crazy. As it was could be replaced with Kiwi. Sue me. Sue me. Sorry, that's a hot take maybe. But I feel like Kiwi needs its place in there. I I don't know what else isn't on the set list. That's just the one that I remembered in my mind. But yeah, I wanted to talk about Harry Styles really quick. Let you guys know that I know. Trust me. Trust and believe I know. Something else I want to talk to y'all about. I was working, girl. I've been working. I was put to work. Friday through Monday, it was like a 4-day banger. Um, it was a lot. It was a lot. It was a lot of moving. It was a lot of processing stuff. But everything's been coming together, and I guess everything is worth it in the end. Our store reopens tomorrow, and I go back 8 a.m. 8 a.m. sharp. To work that shift. I'm very excited to just get back to work. Get back to work full shifts. Make my money again because this last 5 months has been a little rough. Um, but I'm glad to get back into the swing of things and in the groove and get back into a good groove that I was previously in. Um, and yeah, that does mean maybe podcasting episodes might come to a pause. I will let you guys know. Of course, I've said this before. I've said this a few times already. Um, but I'm also just kind of tired and I'm a little burnt out. And I don't like bringing that energy to y'all because y'all deserve someone who's here and present. And lately, the depression bug's been hitting me, the anxiety bug's been hitting me. I've just I'm just not here. I'm not like the best version of myself, and I feel like you guys deserve the best version of myself. So if there's any updates or changes to the podcasting and like the frequency of episodes, maybe I'll do like every other week. I don't know. I will let you guys know. You guys will obviously be the first to know. And if you're not already following me on Instagram, please go give me a follow because I do update Instagram all of the time with my videos. So maybe I can start posting a community post here. I just don't know if you guys will see it. But yeah, if you go to my Instagram, I do update everything that has to do with Dallas chats is in there. So yeah. But with that being said, this will be a good transition into what today's episode's going to be, which is confessions. I took to my Instagram, and I asked the audience, to send in some confessions that they have, completely anonymous, of course. I would never have somebody put in a confession and literally expose them. So I asked them for some confessions. A few people did send some in, and I thought, not only am I going to do other people's confessions, I'm going to do my confessions as well. Just really spill some tea about myself. And yeah, I think that's going to be the premise of today's episode. That's going to be the meat and potatoes. And I feel like we can just get right the fuck into it. Let's get into the submissions that I had for confessions. There's only a few of them. Are y'all shy? Y'all are shy. You guys don't want to confess a little bit. Of course, completely anonymous. I guess we're gonna get right into it. We're just gonna get right the fuck into it. Yeah. So confession number one. I had sex dreams about friends, and I don't know how to feel about that. Thank you for your submission. Um, I don't know if I'm gonna like give advice per se, but I will say when it comes to okay, I think we can all be real here, and we can all girl to girl, girl to they, girl to non-binary, girl to boy. Everybody has dreams, and a lot of them are out of your. I mean, all of your dreams are out of your control, and I feel like it's not. It might feel weird. Obviously, it feels weird. You're having sexual relations with friends in your dreams, but it's obviously not like a conscious effort, because I've had some dreams, not necessarily sex dreams, but I've had some dreams like where I've kissed maybe a coworker or a really good friend of mine, and it's just because I seen them around that day or we talked that day, and suddenly my brain is like, okay, you're gonna have a dream about this person, and it's gonna be a dream that maybe makes you uncomfortable and makes you feel like, what the hell was that about? But I don't think it's weird. It's obviously something you don't have control over, and that's absolutely okay. Um, yeah, I think you're good. You're good. That's a good confession. Starting us off strong. So let's go into the next confession. I cheated on my boyfriend. Okay. Okay, hold on. Sorry. I cheated on my boyfriend with his cousin and he still doesn't know. What cousin is he? Is that a first cousin? Second cousin? A distant cousin? Um, okay. Is this turning into a listen we don't judge episode? Because I'm listening, girl, but like, did you catch my other episode? Like my episode a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago about Clay Thompson and when he cheated? Um, there's not a whole lot of context here. So I don't know if the cheating was like retaliatory, like maybe he cheated on her or something. But with his cousin, is it like a well known cousin? Like they talk all the time? And he doesn't know part still fucks me up. So like are you actively in a relationship with your boyfriend and then cheating on him with his cousin at the same time and he still doesn't know? Ooh, that's messy. Um okay. um Me personally, I just wouldn't do that. I would just break up with my boyfriend. If you're with his cousin, whew, that feels a little messy, girl. Um, I hope that all works out for you. I would say break up with your boyfriend. Why are you cheating on your boyfriend? That feels crazy with his cousin. I'll be thinking about you, girl. I hope you work that out. Or guy, whoever you are. I hope you really work that out. I don't have too much else to say on that because I don't want to sound judgmental or make you feel like I'm against you. Okay, we are together. We are one. I promise. But that's just it's a little crazy for me. So let's just go to the next one. This is gonna be our last confession from other people. Um, I stole designer shoes and purses from a coworker's place. Why? Designer. I'm thinking like Gucci or like Louis Vuitton or like Hermes. An Hermes bag? A Birkin? Did you steal a Birkin? From a coworker's place. So it's not even like you'd even specify your friend, your best friend, maybe your coworker. I don't know. How close are you and your coworker? They're going to their place and you're able to steal. How did you steal all together? did you did you do it like over time? Does your coworker know? There's like no context to this one. You just stole designer shoes and purses. Huh. Okay, period. Like, do they not notice? Like they don't notice? I don't know. I feel like that's something you would notice. Like your pair of YSLs are missing. Your YSL shoes are missing. Your Hermes bag is missing. Your Birkin is missing. I feel like that's something that your coworker should notice. Did they already notice? Are you guys still friends? Are you guys friends at all? I mean, as a friend, I don't think you would steal their designer shit. I don't think you would steal anything from your friend, regardless if it's designer or not. Why do you need that? Why are you stealing it? Do you guys not work the same job? Like, do you not have. Okay, now I'm confused. If you guys are working the same job, you obviously make as much as your coworker, so why aren't you getting your own Hermes? Your own little Birkin? Hmm. I don't know. That's weird. I find that really weird. I guess still, I don't know. How do they not notice? This is the thing. Are they noticing that their stuff is missing or no? I feel like that's something you would notice. Hmm. I mean, it's not like I'm gonna say give it back because now you look guilty as hell. I guess just stop doing that. I don't know. Maybe don't do that. Okay. We're gonna move on. We're gonna move on to my confessions. I have a lot. I have a lot. So buckle up. Mine are not as like juicy. I haven't cheated on anybody ever in my life. I don't steal. Well, okay. Never mind. Um, but let's just get into the first one. I stayed friends with a girl who befriended my biggest bully in high school. All right. Do you guys remember that story that I told? It was a while ago. It was about those two girls who made a fake account and started bullying me because for my makeup and stuff. Okay. This has to do with one of the girls. It was one of the girls who ended up apologizing to me later on in my high school. Um, but I was friends with this girl for a long time. Me and her, she was a grade below me. So when I was in high school, she was still in middle school. But I believe I met her in middle school. It was like right before my freshman year of high school. So right before her eighth grade year. We met. We met through one of my best friend. I think it was her uncle's brother, and like that was my friend's stepdad, and like she introduced me to her, and we just like clicked. We hit it off right away, and we started hanging out all the time. I used to go to her house all the time. We used to stay the night. We hung out always, like a lot of times after school I went to her house. um we were like this, but me and her had a rocky relationship. She would stop being friends with me for whatever reason, and vice versa. It was just a messy little friendship going on. And this happened towards the end of our friendship. I think this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Um, that girl that was my bully, I believe me and her stopped being friends when I was a sophomore or a junior. It was one of the two. Um, but I had found out this was okay. Mind you, this is going to be another tidbit before the actual story. But I had went to a job interview, and my friend ended up coming along with me because I didn't want to go by myself. But it was weird because the interview, it was for a frozen yogurt place. The interviewer did it out, like just out in the in the freaking, what is it called, the dining area. She just held the interview there, and she let my best friend sit in on the interview. And then she was asking me questions about, like, obviously interview questions, and then she got to my best friend, which my best friend, by the way, was not looking for a job. She didn't even put in an application, right? I did that. She asked my best friend, and my best friend started, like, I guess, being interviewed, and she ended up hiring my best friend over me because my friend had experience working before. This would have been my first ever job. I was like 15 or 16. Um, but she hired my friend, and my friend actually took the job. And I was like, so I started looking at her sideways after that. I was like, what the fuck? Mind you, she got fired like 2 weeks in because she didn't show up. But anyway, that's beside the point. So that was already the catalyst to towards the end of our friendship. And then what ended our friendship was she befriended that my bully. I found this out, I forget when, but I found it out on Facebook, and I saw that they were friends and they were kikiing, and I started looking at her sideways. I was like, do you not remember who she is? And she was like, girl, like, people change, like, all this stuff. I was like, she was just my bully, and now you're best friends with her? Like, that doesn't make sense. And it's just the principle of it, like, why would you be friends with somebody who's actively talking badly about your friend? Because, like, behind my back, are they talking about me, and are you defending me to them or no? You know what I'm saying? So it kind of, that was the biggest reason of our, like, breakup, as friends, and we haven't been friends since. I she recently, this was about 4 years ago when my dog passed away, in 2022. She reached out to me to, like, send her condolences, but that was the first time I've heard from her in years. Like, I graduated high school in 2019, and me and her were friends my sophomore year, so that was like 2016 to 2017. I hadn't heard from her since 2017. So when she reached out to send her condolences, I was like, oh my god. Found out she has, like, kids now, and I'm like, good for her. um but yeah, I stay friends with somebody and who just, like, wasn't a good friend to me. That just basically what it was. So that's my first confession. Let's go. Sorry, you can freaking see my knee. Is that inappropriate? I have shorts on. Don't worry. Um, sorry if that's bothering you. Sorry if that's too much. Scandalous. Let's move on to another one. Okay, this one happened in middle school, so I was very young. Please, please, please don't judge me. I argued with a police officer about jaywalking. Okay. So this happened, I think I was in, like, the seventh grade. There is this big ass, like, big, big intersection, and me and my friends used to walk to this park, or the school, to go to this park, this elementary school that was, within walking distance from our house, and we would meet up halfway, from where we lived, and we would walk to the school, just to hang out at the park. And I remember, instead of crossing at the crosswalk, we were going across, this highway, and it big as hell, girl, and it was very busy. So this is fucking stupid in and of itself. But we were jaywalking, and this police officer on the bike, it wasn't like in a car or anything, but he was on his bike. He ended up pulling over on the road. And he was like, "What are you ladies doing? The crosswalk's over there." And I started ignoring him, and I almost like started walking away. And my friend was like, "Dallas, like he's talking to us." And he was like, "Why are you guys here?" And I was like, "Dude, like it's not even that big of a deal. It's not even busy, like all this stuff." I was arguing with him down. I literally said fuck 12 when I was young. When I was 12 years old, I said fuck 12. But he was like scolding us, obviously, because we were trying to walk through this busy ass street when we could have went to the crosswalk. What are we doing? Jaywalking, right? And he's like, "Well, I'm gonna let you girls off with a warning." And I was like, "Yeah, I know you are. Like, you're not gonna do anything on your bike." Who was I feeling like? So I was arguing with this police officer about jaywalking, and then he was like, "Okay, you fix your attitude," to me. And then he like drove away, and he was like, "You guys need to go use the crosswalk." And we ended up freaking crossing where we were at anyway. Girl, I already know. I already know what you guys are thinking. What? Who are you feeling like? I was literally like 12, 13 years old, arguing with this police officer. I was over his shit. I was like, "Let me jaywalk." Piss me off. Um, my second confection. Isn't that like cakes and stuff? Okay. Let's do my next confession. This happened rather recently. This happened within like the past few months. I spent $60 on hot dogs. This happened around my birthday. So the beginning of this year, January 16th, I had went out with my friends to the bars downtown. And if you guys don't know, I love a hot dog. I love a bacon wrapped hot dog with the peppers, the onions, the jalapenos, the ketchup, mustard, and mayo. I love it all. And so I that's my shit. So I was like, "Oh, there's a hot dog stand right after the club. Let me go and get me a hot dog." My friend came up, she's like, "Oh, can you give me one too?" And I was like, "Of course, the more the merrier." Now, usually hot dogs, these street vendors charge them for 10 bucks a piece. That's the standard for any hot dog like vendor, usually that I've gone to. It's been $10. So I go and I'm getting this hot dog, and I'm distracted because like this guy came up with his friend, and they're talking. He's like, "Oh, like are these hot dogs any good?" And I was like, "Yeah, they are." I was like, "You know what? You should buy me one." I was like, "You should buy me one because it's my birthday." And he was like, "Oh, is it your birthday? It's my birthday too." And I was like, "Really?" I was like, "Oh my god, happy birthday." And so me and this guy are like chatting it up, and I'm trying to get a free hot dog out of this, right? I'm trying to get him to pay. And then it comes down, him and his friend end up deciding they don't want a hot dog, and then they leave. And then the hot dog guy like taps the tongs on the grill, and he's like, "Hey, pay me." And it was for Venmo. So I usually do tap, but he was doing Venmo. He was like, "Okay, Venmo me this." He said $16 because I ended up only paying for the one for myself. He said, "Okay, 16," but I misheard, and I heard 60, and I was like, $60. I was so distracted by the guys that were there, and then he started like trying to rush me. I Venmoed this dude $60 for hot dogs, and he let me. He just fucking let me. Of course he did. So that man was blessed that night because I gave him 60 fucking dollars for a goddamn hot dog. Um, yeah, pissed me off. So that's another confession of mine. I did spend $60 on a hot dog. Was it good? It was fucking delicious. Let me tell you that. It was worth $60. Let me tell you. I don't know if it was a $60 worth hot dog, but it was very good. Um, let's move on. Let's move on to the time. Oh, I almost fought a grown ass man. Okay, this also happened very recently. I want to say within like the last 6 7 months. Sorry. I went out with my friends to this club. I think it was Vinyl. If you're from Denver, we went to this club, and I think I told this story before. Actually, I don't remember. Um, but we were dancing. We are having a really good night, and this guy, he he came up to my friend, and my friend, she's what you would call a people pleaser. She just doesn't want to like be rude, so like any situations like that, she's just gonna talk and be nice and be kind. But she wasn't interested in him. She has a boyfriend, and she just wasn't, she's not interested. I know she wasn't interested. But this guy was like trying to make moves on her, and then he was kind of going in on her and like being a little bit too much. And she looked at me, she gave me the look, and I was like, you. So I came up to him. I was like, oh, hey, like, she's not interested in you. And he's like, she can tell me that. I was like, well, she has a boyfriend. And he was like, she can't have a friend. And I was like, I'm her friend. I was like, she doesn't want to be friends with you. And like at this point, she like went to like where her cousin was at and was like standing with her cousin. And I'm going toe to toe with this guy. And he was like, what the fuck is your problem? He was like, me and her were getting along. She was going to give me her number. I was like, no, she wasn't. I was like, she's obviously not interested in you, so you can leave. And he was like, oh, fuck. Like he got on my face and we're arguing. Me and him were arguing. We're at a standstill now. I'm like going toe to toe. And I'm like, like wanting to fight this man. And then eventually the guys that we were with, because like it was me, my friend, her cousin, and then our other friends had invited their coworkers and stuff. So like finally some guys stepped in, like these coworkers stepped in, and then like got me out of the way because I'm mad now. I'm like I'm yelling at this dude. I'm like, bitch, fuck you. She wasn't interested. Blah 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 blah. And then one of the guys that were with us, he ends up pushing him, and then that's what happened. He ended up getting kicked out of the freaking club. But you're not gonna sit here and make my friend unfreaking comfortable and then act as if you're so fucking innocent and as if she wanted to talk to you. No, we're not doing that. I'm not that type of friend. I am not that type of friend to see my friend in a situation where she's obviously uncomfortable and just leave her there. No, I'm not doing that. And I would have fought him. I would have threw hands. These hands are rated E for everybody. He would have gotten it. I was drunk enough. I was really drunk enough to get his ass. Yeah, that's the time I almost fought a grown man, for making my friend uncomfortable, and I would do it again. Okay, so let's go. This one is stupid. Okay, let's go into another one. I scared friends in school by pretending I saw dead people. Okay, this sounds insane to me, but let me just tell you what happened. I This is in elementary school. I think I was in kindergarten. I had to have been in kindergarten. I was very, very young. But I like convinced, I'm so serious when I say I convinced my friends in school that I saw dead people. And I set it to where like it would come and go. So like sometimes people would pass by and they were normal living people. And sometimes people would pass by and they were dead zombies. And so I remember it was on the playground. We were outside at recess and we were like watching the cars go past. Like instead of playing on the playground, we were watching cars go past. Okay. But we were watching cars go past and I was like, I have a confession. I probably didn't say that. I was like, I have something to say. And my friend was like, oh my God, what? And I was like, I see dead people. And she was like, oh, really? And I was like, yeah, like only sometimes, but like right now, these cars going past, they're dead. And she was like, oh, no way. And like we would see a car come up and she's like, what about them? And I'm like, that's a zombie, babe. That's a zombie. They're dead. And they're driving. She was like, oh, and she's like, is it for everybody? And I was like, no, it only comes and goes. So only sometimes do I see dead people. But right now I'm in that time, in that time frame. I'm seeing dead people passing by. And she ate that shit up. She was like, oh my God, you're so gifted. Oh my God, I wish I could see dead people. And I was like, yeah, all those people passing by aren't even real. They're all dead. And I don't know why you can see them, but they're all dead to me. And she was like, oh, ate it up. She ate it right up. And then every single time we would go to recess, she would tell me, like, is that person dead? is Are they dead? I was like, I don't have that power today. I can't tell. She's like, oh dang. So it was a running theme with that friend. That I saw dead people and she believed me. So her dumbass. Okay. Let's move on to another one. I greened out in San Diego. Yes, I did. Okay. This happened recently. This happened in 2024 in September when I went to California. I went to San Diego for a few days for a convention, and then we went to Disneyland after where I got this. But at this convention, they had on Saturday what's called the block party. So they closed down a whole block in San Diego and they reserve it for this party. Now this party, all like the restaurants and the bars that were there were open to you. And they gave out like free food and free drinks, obviously with like, you know, a limit to it. But it was all open and they had like karaoke, they had live music playing, they had like games you could play, and they had like free drinks for everybody that was there. Well, I started drinking. Me and my friends were pre-gaming. We were at this party, and my friend, um, she had edibles, and she was like, "Oh, like, do you want one?" And now, at home for me, I typically when I go out, I'm crossfaded. And I typically take a 10 milligram gummy, and that gets me good. That gets me right. So it's 10 milligrams. She gave me a gummy. I ate the whole thing. That was my mistake. Okay. Not only am I getting crossfaded in public, I'm in a place that I'm not familiar with. And I think this is what made it worse. So, the gummy, I'm waiting for it to kick in. We're walking around, and we end up stopping at this one part of the block. And one of the guys that was there, that was meeting, that we just saw, and like we're like, oh, like, come over here. He ended up like jumping over like this barrier, and as soon as he jumped over it, it hit me like a truck. Like, as soon as I heard him jump, I was like, and it hit me. So I'm like, okay, the edible kicked in. And then, we're talking, we're laughing, we're like meeting up with people, whatever. And I'm starting to feel it, but I'm feeling it a little too much for my liking. And I'm like, oh my God. And like, I can hear everything. I can hear the karaoke. People are singing badly. I can hear the live music. I can hear conversations. I can hear our conversations and the people's conversations all the way over there. It's like, I'm so aware, and I'm high. And I realize I'm too high. I'm greened out. I am greening out actively, right? And I remember looking to my friend, and I'm like, I'm really high. And I said that like 5 different times. I was like, I'm really high. I'm really high. And then at one point, she grabbed me by this bitch. She grabbed me by the shoulders, and she's like, nightmare, nightmare, nightmare. And I was like, and it activated the worst high of my life. After she said nightmare, 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 I was in a nightmare, girl. I got teleported to a nightmare, and I was like, oh my God, I'm not real. And I was like, I realized we were standing there for too long, for mad long. And I was like, I can't move. I was like, I don't think I can move from this spot. And then that's when my friends started freaking out. They're like, Dallas, are you okay? And I was like, I couldn't talk. I couldn't say anything. I was just stuck. And I was like, and I knew I had to go home. I had to go back to the Airbnb. And I remember hearing another one of my friends and their partner speaking, their partner at the time speaking, and they're like, they wanted to leave. And I was like, oh, that's my ticket home, right? But I couldn't say anything. I couldn't jump in their conversation and be like, can I go with you guys? Because I was stuck. I was literally, I couldn't speak. I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. And so I remember my other friend, she's like, oh, they're gonna leave, do you want to go back to the house? And I was like, I guess I didn't nod or anything, but I was just looking at her, and she was like, you're gonna go back to the house. And so my friends who were leaving, they're like, okay, we're gonna get an Uber, we just have to walk to a place where the Uber can pick us up, are you okay to walk? And I was like, maybe. So we're walking, and then as soon as I'm walking, I'm like, I feel like it's coming down, but then like it just gets activated because I keep hearing noises. I keep hearing people. I keep hearing singing. I'm just like, oh my God, I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out, man. And we're waiting for the Uber. We get inside the Uber. I'm texting my best friend. I'm like, please help. I was like, can you talk to me for a second? I'm really, really high. And so we start playing iMessage games on, like, I'm playing iMessage games with my friend. And dude, it helped me. It grounded me so much just speaking to somebody who like I knew like fully, because everybody that I was like on this trip with, some of them I've met before, but a lot of people I was very new to, and like I've never been to San Diego. So I was in a new city, I was with new people, and I'm like, I'm so uncomfortable, right? I greened out in public, bitch, in San Diego at this block party. And then we ended up getting back to the Airbnb. I lay down in bed. I'm floating. I'm that SpongeBob meme where it's floating. And then my friend texts me. Mind you, she texts when I get back to the house. It's like 10:30 p.m. So I greened out in public by like 10 o'clock. And she texts me. She's like, "Hey, we're gonna have a party at the house. You gotta sober up quickly. You gotta rally." And I'm like, fuck, dude, fuck. And then I remember we had the party, and everybody that was there, they ended up coming up to me, they're hugging me, and they're like, are you okay? Like, is everything okay? Like, what happened? And I was like, oh my God, this is so embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. Everybody coming up to me and hugging me and making sure I'm okay. Oh my God. That was so embarrassing. But I did have fun the rest of that night. It was just that little moment where I was at the party and I felt stuck. I was like, oh no, oh no. But yeah, greened out in public. And this next one kind of coincides with my San Diego trip. This happened the day after. I peed my pants in our Airbnb on my bedroom floor. It was hardwood floors, thank God. So this is my next confession. This literally happened the next day. This happened the next day. This was a Sunday, and we were supposed to have a chill night. We were supposed to have a night in where we weren't doing anything because the next day we had to get up early because a couple of our friends were leaving back home, and then the rest of us had to catch a train to go to Anaheim so that we could make it to Disneyland, right? So we wanted to have a chill night, and we ended up having a huge bash at our house. So we're having a big party. I'm getting drunk, I'm getting turned. We're drinking, we're having a good time, and then it's like no joke, everybody starts leaving around like 4 in the morning. So like we had a rager. We threw a rager, right? And so people were leaving, and everybody at this point had left. So it was just me and my friends who were staying at this Airbnb, where a lot of us are just gathered in me and my friend's shared room, and we're just like laughing and shooting the shit, whatever. Let me paint you a picture. I'm on the floor. I'm directly like in front of the bed. I don't know why I'm sitting on the floor. I'm just sitting on the floor. And across from me is the bathroom. And mind you, I've been drinking White Claws like no one's business. So like White Claws just go right through me because it's pretty much water, right? It's seltzer water with a little bit of alcohol in it, right? And they're going right through me. And I've been peeing all night long, right? And at this moment, I'm sitting on the floor where we're shooting the shit, and I'm like, oh, I really need to pee. So I I lock eyes with the bathroom, like that's right across from me, but my friend is standing right in front of it. And so I start crawling towards the bathroom because I'm like, I need to pee really, really bad. I'm trying to hold it, right? And my friend says something that stops me dead in my tracks, and I'm laughing. It is the funniest thing in the world. I wish I could remember what it was because I think it was a dumb little joke, but I thought it was the funniest shit she's ever said in her life. And I start laughing so hard, I can't control it. And then my bladder, I'm crawling, I'm mid crawl to the bathroom. I start laughing, and I feel the pee come in, and I'm like, "Oh no." I only have a couple seconds to get to the bathroom. And when I move, I start peeing. And I'm not talking a little dribble, girl. I'm not talking a little squirt. No, I'm peeing. I'm actively pissing my pants on the floor. And I'm like, stop. I tell them, I'm like, stop. I'm peeing. I'm peeing. And my friends don't believe me. They're laughing. And I'm like, no, I'm peeing. I'm pissing my pants, and it's getting on this hardwood floor, and I'm just letting it out. I'm emptying my bladder, girl, right over, because I'm like, what else am I gonna do, right? I pissed myself, and it was a lot. And my friends are, mind you, my friends are around me. Now they're like, I'm in the center of this circle, and they're laughing at me as I'm pissing myself. And I'm like, I need a moment. I need you guys to leave the room. And then, and then I was like, oh my God, I'm like so embarrassed. I sober up instantly. I sober the fuck up. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm so fucking sorry. I'm so, so sorry. I have this big puddle underneath me. My friends are like, get me towels, helping me clean it up. And I'm like, Dallas, just get in the shower. Don't worry about it. And then my friends, God bless them, they're cleaning up the floor where I peed. And then I went to take a shower, and I was so embarrassed for the rest of the night. I started that night, literally, I started looking up flights home. Instead of the freaking train, I was going to cancel my train and just go straight to the airport because I was so embarrassed. Um, yeah, that's the time that I peed myself in front of everybody. I'm glad it wasn't in front of the entire party because that would have been even more embarrassing. It was just in front of my friends who were so cool with me, and it didn't ruin our friendship. Hey, I thought it was gonna ruin our friendship, and it didn't. So hey, that's it. And that's fine. Okay, so this is my very last confession for the day. My friend and I stole a ton of jewelry and clothing in middle school. So this is the friend that introduced me to that friend who befriended my friend in high school, my bully in high school, not my friend who befriended my bully in high school. This is the friend that introduced me to that friend. And now me and this friend have been friends for a long time at this point. We were friends all throughout elementary school from like the third grade or like the fourth grade, I want to say. We were really, really good friends, and we stayed friends up until middle school. So I believe this happened in like the sixth or seventh grade. Me and her would go to this outlet mall that's near our house, and we would go to like the Macy's, the Charlotte Russe, when Charlotte Russe was still in business, and she would steal. Okay, I need to make that perfectly clear. I was very scared, but she would steal, and I wouldn't stop her. She stole a lot of jewelry. She stole a lot of clothing. And she would give me stuff that she would be like, "Which one do you like?" And I would point out the jewelry that I liked, and she would take it. And we never got caught. We never got caught, girl. But we did that for at a couple stores, at a few stores, but like I was so scared. I was shitted. I always thought that the police were gonna come get me. Like they would find my face in the thing. They would ban me from the mall that we were stealing at. And but nothing ever happened. We never got caught. But this friend, she stole a lot, girl. And she's like, "Which one do you want? I'll take it for you." And I'm like, "No, it's okay. I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it." But like with all this jewelry and stuff, I was like, "Okay, I like this one and this one and this one." And then by the end of the day, she would give it to me. And I never wore any of it. I never wore the jewelry. I never wore the clothing because I was so scared. I was like, they're gonna see this jewelry and this clothing on me. They're gonna realize this is their products that have been missing, and they're gonna cuff me. They're gonna put me in cuffs and they're gonna arrest me at the mall. That's what they're gonna do. So I always hid it. I hid it in it was like a One Direction. It was a One Direction little case, and I hid everything that I stole in there, and I hid it under my bed from everybody. Yeah, that's the first time I've ever said that out loud. It was that I stole. I didn't directly steal, but I helped my friend steal. I was like I was the getaway person without being the getaway car. I was her. I was an accomplice. I knew she was taking it, and I let her take stuff from me, and I never said anything until now. But yeah, I don't condone that at all. So that other person who was stealing, I don't condone stealing. It's not good unless it's just basic stuff like food. If you're stealing food or you're stealing formula for your baby, I get it. I'm gonna turn a blind eye. I don't care. But like if you're stealing some regular shit and it's like, are you that broke? It's one of those things. But yeah, those have been my confessions. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing my confessions, hearing other people's confessions. Thank you so much to everybody who submitted their confessions. I love you so bad. Even if yours is a little crazy, I still love you at the end of the day. But yeah, I hope that was a very fun episode for you guys. It's a bit of a longer episode than I've done the past couple of weeks, so I hope that's something that you guys are excited for. Um, I might see you guys next week. I might not. I will update Instagram. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, please go follow me there. My socials are in my bio. That's where I update everybody about future episodes to come. So I might see you guys next week. I might not. I'm so sorry if I don't. Um, but yeah, this has been a lot of fun. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Maybe I'll see you next week, maybe not. But if I don't, please have a good weekend. Please have a good rest of your week. Please have a good next weekend if I don't see you. And remember to be kind. Be kind to a neighbor, be kind to a stranger, and most of all, be kind to yourself because you only got you at the end of the day. Um, yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening. It's been so much fun. And that's all. That's it, and that's all. Love you guys.